What's going on, fam? It's your boy Lazy Lightsaber, and we back at it again after a full-fledged Nintendo Direct. Now I'm gonna go ahead and remove all the Zelda content from that Direct and put it in this video here in a nice, neat package for you guys to know exactly what went down and exactly what we're getting. Now, before we get started with this video, in my opinion, the Zelda stuff was the best stuff that was shown. And if you want to kind of get the full picture of what went down, you can go ahead and go to the Nintendo YouTube channel and watch the 50-minute long Direct that they had and soak up all the juicy stuff that they showed. But for me, the prime rib, right, the steak, the best thing that was on here was the Zelda stuff, and we're gonna go ahead and start off with the first thing that they announced. So the first thing was the Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity expansion pack. Now the expansion pack is going to be $19.99 for the entire expansion pack, and they are sending this out in waves. The first kind of thing that you get is on May 28th. You get a new weapon for Link and a new costume for Link. Then you have to wait until June. Found that kind of weird. That kind of time span, I could have seen maybe like a couple of weeks or so. But maybe this is normal in kind of the DLC expansion pack type of thing for these type of games. I haven't bought DLC in forever. I do have Zelda Breath of the Wild, but I don't have the DLC package for it. I think the game without it is fine. It's a full game. The next thing that you get is Wave 1 coming in June 2021, which is an expanded roster, new weapon types, new challenges in the Ancient Lab, and then new challenging enemies as well. And then Wave 2 coming out in November. See, that's like a huge time span there. You have to wait from June all the way into the late fall for this. This is that I don't like. I don't like the expansion, like the length of time that you have to wait from one kind of drop to the other. But then finally on that last one, you will get the new characters, new stages, expanded roster, and new battle skills for existing characters. So I guess like new moves and that kind of stuff. So that's pretty cool. For $19.99, I don't know. To me, this is kind of overpriced from what I'm seeing. $20 is maybe a little too much. I don't know if this is like the full of it. That this is, the entire thing. If that's just what you get, I think it is a little pricey. I'm asking for $20 for this, but you know what? It's Zelda not Breath of the Wild, Zelda Hyrule Warriors, and people will pay for it. I unfortunately will probably pay for this because I did enjoy the game very much, and then just expanding it a little more would definitely be great. So for $20 you get the expansion pass. I will be getting the expansion pass as soon as it comes out, and we'll be going ahead and showing some of that stuff here on the channel. So stay tuned around May to see some of the things that we should be getting on the channel for the Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity expansion pass. So that kind of wraps up the first thing that was shown on the first portion of this video. Now the second wave that we got for the channel is from the Direct. It's going to be the stuff that was announced. A new Zelda game is actually coming out for the Nintendo Switch, and that new Zelda game is going to be Skyward Sword. It's a game that I actually never played before. I've seen stuff on it on the Wii or whatever, but I never actually played this game. So when I heard that it was coming out, I was super hyped to see it. But a lot of people did critique the actual controllers for it. They're saying that the controllers actually were the worst thing in the entire gaming experience, where the motion controls, a lot of people were turned off by those motion controls. But fortunately for us, they fixed that. Apparently now you can use full button presses, especially like if you're using a Switch Lite where you don't have Joycons to use kind of like as the motion controls themselves. So now you can actually use the right joystick to swing your sword, and they kind of show a bit on how all that motion control stuff is done. But it's basically how Zelda started, right? It's the first game in the timeline, so it's something that you do want to have on the Switch. It did look really nice graphically. It did look very well done. The graphics were very much improved from what I've seen on YouTube when the original game came out. So definitely it's super awesome to kind of have this back now, and now on the Switch. I'm definitely going to be getting this game. It wasn't what I was expecting. I would have maybe preferred like a Twilight Princess or a Wind Waker, but hey, I'll kind of get what I'll take with this game. And if it's, you know, if it ends up being great, then that's awesome. That's awesome. You know, if it ends up being a great game, I'm all for that. So I'm definitely excited to see kind of where this is going. I will be trying it on the Joycons just to see how that kind of experience works. I'm sure it's way better than what the Wii or Wii U had or whatever. So that's interesting to see how that game is going to work out. I am bummed when he came out and he told all of us that basically there is no news for Breath of the Wild 2. With that being said, I just personally think that that game's not coming out till next year. Probably March of 2021, just kind of based on what he said. And he spoke like, oh, we're still working, we don't have anything for the time. Maybe later this year is what he said. We'll have some new updates about the game. Yeah, probably in November, maybe in June around the E3 time frame, we'll get to see another clip of the game. But I don't think this game is coming out this year from what was showed. And from kind of what he said, kind of the vibe that I felt from him was that this game was not going to be ready in 2021. Maybe March of 2022 is kind of where I am going to go ahead and say that this came out. Now, the third kind of thing that was announced with this, that's not a game actually, it's a piece of hardware. Yes, hardware. No, it's not the Super Switch. I wish it was a Super Switch, or the Switch Pro or whatever, but that's not the case. We actually got Joycons, Zelda themed Joycons. You got the left Joy-Con, which is supposed to be the shield, and the right Joy-Con, which is supposed to be the sword. Now the sword has more of a purple kind of look and feel to it, and then the left Joy-Con has a blue kind of. Hold on, I got that flipped around. The right Joy-Con is the sword, and it has kind of a purple coloring. And then the left one is a shield, and it has a blue coloring. Now, I'm definitely wishing they would have made them more bluish, like the shield coloring, but I can understand where they're going with one is supposed to be a shield and one is supposed to be a sword. So when you play Skyward Sword with the motion controllers, you kind of get into it. But the controllers, the Joy-Con controllers look freaking amazing. They look amazing, hands down. I mean, wow. I'm definitely gonna get these, and I'm gonna put them on my Switch, and they're gonna be my main driver when I'm playing handheld on the Switch, because they just look super clean. 10 plus on Nintendo for this. This was, you know, coming out of left field. I didn't expect this, but definitely a huge plus, and I will be getting this day one along with Skyward Sword. So again, this is coming out, I believe, July 26th, I think is what they said, when the release date of this is supposed to be. The game and the controllers are going to come out on the exact same day, so I'm going to go ahead and do that pre-order for both the Joy-Con and the Switch, so I can get them at the same time and then play my ass off, because it's going to be extremely awesome. Now, that is kind of, I'm sorry, not July 26th, July 16th. July 16th is when the game launches, just to make that correction. But I am definitely going to play my butt off with this, and it's going to be fun, and I hope you guys can join me in July. I'm still going to be around, you know me, so it's definitely going to be a cool adventure. But I am kind of bummed on a couple of things with this Direct that did not happen, and now I didn't have too much of a high expectation for this Direct, but I was at least expecting them to talk about Zelda Breath of the Wild 2, or at least show some, like a small trailer and say coming soon, or coming 2022, or coming 2021. At least they would have given some background information on when this game was actually coming out. It would have been a whole lot better. So it kind of sucks that we did not get that. We kind of got no information on when this game is coming, and we were kind of left in the dark with it. So that kind of bummed me out. I wasn't expecting it to be released coming next month. No, I knew my expectations for that could be low, but at least something, some type of carrot that we could have had, like some crumbs, basically. Here you go, peasants, Zelda simps, or whatever the hell you want to call it. But it's not that we're Zelda Sims. We just love this game, and we've invested. I've invested over 400 hours of playtime on Zelda Breath of the Wild alone, not to mention like Zelda's game period, like throughout my whole lifetime. So it's a passion of ours, and I wanted to get news from that game. So I was kind of bummed out from that. The other game that I did not see at all, or they even mentioned, is Metroid Prime 4. Like, when are we even going to hear about that? No mention of Metroid Prime 4. So definitely a couple of games that I did not get, that we did not get, and was kind of bummed out with that kind of whole thing not being shown. So that was kind of like, oh man, I wish we would have just heard something on this game, and we did not get anything. So that's basically the entire Zelda wrap up and how kind of I feel about this direct. It was a 50-minute full-blown direct. We haven't had a direct in like a year and a half, maybe more, and it was good that it happened. It needed to happen. And there's a lot of third-party games here. There's a Star Wars game that's coming out. It's supposed to be like a free online kind of game that looks really good, so I'm excited kind of that game coming out. They didn't show us anything though, like we didn't get any gameplay. There was also an RPG. I forgot the name right now. It escapes me. Let me see if I can find it here. Okay, the name of the game is a Project Triangle Strategy, a tactical RPG. So that looked that looked good. It kind of gave me some Octo Traveler type of vibe, so that looked pretty good. But other than that, I mean, most of the games for me personally are not ones that I would kind of dwell in. There was also a Plants vs. Zombie game that was shown. My son was really excited for that. I'm not really that kind of gamer, so but like I said, there was something for other people that maybe wouldn't be interested in the stuff that I'm interested, but definitely a little bit for every type of gamer in this direct. It wasn't a great direct, it wasn't a bad direct, it was just kind of needed for the time, and there's a lot of third-party support that Nintendo is getting from this, so that's pretty good to see as well. So hopefully next time we'll get to see some more Zelda stuff, and maybe some Breath of the Wild or Metroid Prime 4 on the next direct. Maybe sometime in June we should see something related to that as well. Well, let me know down in the comments below if you agree with my take or if you disagree, and let me know why. And let me know if you enjoyed this Nintendo Direct, or was there something that was missing that you expected to be shown but was not. Or we can just talk about whatever, because that's what we do down in the comment section here on the Lazy Lightsaber channel. If you're new to the channel, what are you doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now, because you know I'll be dropping videos throughout the entire year, as we always do here. We don't take breaks. Don't forget to smash that like button if you're enjoying my content. If you dislike it, then you already know what to do. It's your boy. May the force be with you, and Lazy is out.